Hi all! Everything in my video is pulled from the public domain, and I am using them under the Fair Use, Fair Dealings guidelines. Everything I say is my own opinion. You should look into this information for yourselves, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Morning, everybody. We are starting off with the pictures of the kitchen towels and the bag and the chocolate and the coronation matzah that was sent to me by my subscriber, Carol. Carol, thank you so much. So we have a lot to cover again today, so let's just jump in and get there, shall we? Let's go. Thank you to Joe March 61 for this picture. This is a bust of King Charles sculpted in chocolate. Now that I could bite his head off. Next up, there is a Legoland mini land scene of the coronation at Windsor Resort, and you have King Charles and Queen Camilla on the balcony of Buckingham Palace. Love it. Next up, congratulations to Mr. Dorset, who was appointed to grand rank by the Grand Master, Prince Edward, Duke of Kent. Love it. Congratulations. All right, this next thing threw me for a loop. It said Queen Camilla got a glamorous makeover ahead of King Charles's coronation, and I saw this and went, wow, she looks really good. And then I realized it is Madame Trousseau's wax museum, and they've given Camilla a makeover since she's going to be Queen Camilla. Good for her. Moving on. Next up, you guys remember I showed you that the Duchess of Edinburgh was in Kent at that school. Well, while she was there, I'm not sure why, somebody must have asked her, she actually drew the family tree. So what did we learn from this? Well, number one, she's a lefty. I didn't realize that. And number two, when she was drawing the family tree, she left Harry off. So if there's any question about how she's feeling about Harry, I think that pretty much answers it. Don't you guys agree? All right, moving on. We are now up to Edward, who visited, I hope I can say this, well, I'm not even going to try to say it, but it's the King's sacred space. I can't pronounce it. It was this unbelievable long word, and he was in a council with representatives of the MC First Nation. Edward then met with leaders in education about how the Duke of Canada Award can help young Canadians, in a roundtable discussion with unique opportunities for learning and growth. Now, after that, Edward did this thing called Award in Action in East Vancouver. And so he got to meet the young people, and he learned how they're using the awards that they earned to, raise themselves up. Love it. It was reported they're going to try to expand this award to more than 26,000 people across the country by 2026. I think it can be done. Moving on. Here we go. Princess Anne, the Princess Royal. She has been given a quote-unquote starring role front and center at the coronation due to her years of loyalty to her brother. She is going to be Charles's quote-unquote official bodyguard as they make their way back to Buckingham Palace during the coronation. The role is called the Gold Stick in Waiting, and that's the position that historically, makes sure that the monarch's safety, and, you give it to somebody you trust. So Anne will be on horseback behind them, leading the larger procession, which will have 6,000 military personnel in it. This custom apparently goes back several hundred years, back to the Tudor times. There was a gold stick and a silver stick, and they were appointed to keep close to the sovereign and protect them from danger. And apparently, Anne was very honored. Now, here's a little shot. They've always been close. Look how cute. They've always been very close, and he's always relied on her for advice and her no-nonsense attitude. She apparently was the favorite of Prince Philip, while he apparently was the favorite of the Queen. And thank you to Sneaky on Twitter for these photos. All right, I showed you guys the other day that Charles and Camilla opened the stage for the Eurovision. Well, apparently they popped into the library in Liverpool to hear about the 2-week cultural festival that's going to run alongside it. And apparently President Zelensky came on virtually. Wonderful. Moving on, but still sticking with King Charles, he presented the Royal Air Force with a new color. So the Royal Air Force paraded into Buckingham Palace, where the color was consecrated by an armed forces chaplain, and then it was presented to the king. So he presented the Navy's new colors, and that's the most sacred standard in the naval service. And since it has the king's new royal cipher and was touched by his hand, the flag was entrusted to the Royal Navy at Buckingham Palace. Very nice. Very interesting. The article said that the flags are decorated with special symbols and battle honors gained throughout the centuries, and they take on a mystical quality because it's believed that in the threads, spirits of all those that have died previously are there. So to dishonor the colors is to dishonor the sacrifice and memory of past heroes. Cool. All right, moving on. Moving on to Catherine and William. This was an action-packed day for them. So the two of them went to visit the Central Beacons Mountain Rescue Tea headquarters. Wow, that's a mouthful. In Wales. And it's part of the 2-day trip to the country. So this is day one. So, of course, you know they had to do something spectacular. So what did they do? They call it abseiling. I call it rappelling. I don't know any other way to, that's just what I call it. You know, you put all the equipment on. So they got up there, they stopped, they posed for a few photographs. William was joking around, see you at the bottom. And she looked at William and said, this is not a race, William. And because you know how competitive these two are. And so then the two of them, you know, go on down the rock. Now, I got to be honest, this is not something that I would have done, but okay. Now, William could be heard telling the instructors, quote, it's been a while. Okay, since they did that. Now, the Central Beacons Mountain Rescue Team, that's still a mouthful, is celebrating its 60th birthday. It was founded in 1963, and it's a completely volunteer-run team. And William is the patron of the Rescue England and Wales. Now, this group, I'm not going to be able to say this right, so you guys bear with me. This group covers the central area of the Banu Choing National Park, which includes Pen Y Fan, which is the highest point in southern Britain, and the Strafelti waterfalls, and it's been keeping the surrounding community safe for 60 years. So there you go. I can imagine that you get to the bottom and you point up and you go, that's a long way down. It doesn't look it from the top, but at the bottom, that looks like I would hate to drop down there. So anyway, they also did some other training activities. They did a medical support exercise. They watched a search dog rescue demonstration. And Catherine then took part in a simulated casualty rescue, and she used a radio to alert her husband to the kit she required. And she said to him over the radio, do you know what's on the list? It's like our weekly shopping list. It's like going to the supermarket. The kit was brought over by William. All right, so after that, they went and got the pizzas for the team, and they went to their local area. It's the club. It's a theater club, the Cardiff Blues. It's a popular spot where all the climbers socialize. So they went there. They also met the owners of the Little Dragon Pizza Van. They then got pizza for everybody, and everybody sat down and ate. I think it's wonderful. I can't wait to see what tomorrow brings. Now, moving on, it's been pointed out that Harry really is doing his best to wreck King Charles's coronation. The phone hacking scandal where he forgot to mention that it was a private settlement, and he did not mention that the money that William won went to charity, and this whole bit. He's doing everything possible to wreck it. As a matter of fact, there's a rumor out there that there is a private picture of their daughter with the Queen, and they're going to release it the night before the coronation. Anything to disrupt the coronation. People are pointing out that Harry and Meghan are not going anywhere near their mission statement at every turn. Remember, compassion in action. She refuses to speak to her father, who's had a massive stroke, who's very much alive. He's lobbing truth bombs at his family. They run around trying to collect meaningless awards. It's become a joke. You know, things have gotten so bad with them that people are, especially Piers Morgan, is saying that the royal family should take legal action against them. They've been attacking the family for 3 years now. So what he said was, and I'm quoting, they should sue Prince Harry for invading their privacy because the amount of trouble they've caused is just absolutely ridiculous. 2 of the youngest royals have waged a 3-year war on the institution. They've weaponized a culture of validity from victimhood. There you go. So now people are putting out polls. Should the family take legal action against Harry? I'm still waiting on this poll to come in. Personally, I think you're going to find that most people would. Would they have a legal case? Is a whole nother question. But should he be in attendance at the coronation? Well, Dan Wooten had something to say about that. Listen to this.
If you had any doubt about my contention that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are on a mission to overshadow the coronation as part of their deranged campaign to bring down the royal family, then the extraordinary developments in the High Court over the past 24 hours prove the case. With just 10 days before the biggest day in the life of King Charles and one of the most significant days in the recent history of the British monarchy, the Duke of Delusion unleashed a series of twisted grenades against his own flesh and blood. The courtroom revelations about both the King and Prince William dash any hope of family reconciliation or peace next weekend. But most shamefully, they ensure that the crowning of King Charles III will be mired in the murky and mucky campaigns of Harry and Meghan, who both claimed they quit the country to start a happy new life, but are obsessed with bitterly dragging up the past. But Harry's witness statement instead fires shots at his own family, which made the front pages of both the Daily Telegraph and The Guardian today. Like any paranoid egomaniac, he claims his own reputation was once again sacrificed to improve the image of his dangerous stepmother, who will be crowned as Queen next Saturday. And once again, and this makes me mad, he paints his granny, the late, great Queen Elizabeth II, as some sort of hapless bystander who was continually overruled by her courtiers, who she was in charge of, and her son Charles. He reveals, without permission, details of a private big money settlement of £1 million, according to the Daily Telegraph, between NGN and his brother Prince William. But he does that without also revealing that the large sum is believed to have been donated by Prince William to charity, and without revealing that without wills, this whole phone hacking scandal may never have been revealed in the first place. It was Meghan who this week blamed royal correspondents for creating a, quote, circus around the couple, which has to now be the most hypocritical comment I have ever heard. The ringmasters of this circus are the Duke and the Duchess themselves, because Harry is now using a futile, pathetic court case based on a personal vendetta less than 2 weeks before his father's coronation to cause maximum damage. I think King Charles needs to wise up. This is never going to stop. I appreciate it's late in the day, but the King should withdraw Harry's invitation to the coronation to make it clear to his son that this woke brand of treachery will not be consistently rewarded.
Now, the last article we're going to talk about is the fact that Kim Kardashian and Kris Jenner apparently did their best to avoid Meghan Markle and Prince Harry at the game in LA. Apparently, really, the A-listers want nothing to do with them. And, you know, I couldn't help but notice in this picture where Meghan is snuggling up to Harry, she's not even looking at Harry. She's looking to see where the camera is, you guys. Oh, and Piers Morgan said that at these things, these people know ahead of time they're going to be on the kiss cam. That was a whole setup. And we're going to end with a blind item because according to this blind item, Harry and Meghan live full-time in LA. They do not live in Montecito. They may have a house in Montecito. They may have some sort of a rental agreement with the owner of the house in Montecito, but they live full-time in LA. Would that surprise me? No, it's for their safety. They have to lie to people about where they live. Yeah, whatever. All right, you guys, you know what I want. Make those comments, leave them, and make them good. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that bell to be notified of uploads. If you've already hit the button, double check, make sure you're still subscribed. Go into the description box and you'll find the links to my Twitter, my Getter, my Rumble, my email. You'll also find the address if there's something you want to physically send me in the mail. For those of you who've donated to my coffee fund and through the thanks button, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.